how relatively new is the Artemis Project, and then explain what you all do.
Okay. The Artemis Project was founded in late 2019. We actually didn't start like helping until 2020, when we were able to manage to secure a facility to house some of our dogs, thanks to a wonderful benefactor that let us use her property, Mavis Eddington. And let's see, since then, I think we've probably taken in over 5,000 animals and mostly transported them up north. But we are to a point now where we're going to call on our public to help us place some of these in local homes. So we just have such an issue here with overpopulation that we've got to do something locally to be able to manage the amount of animals that we have coming in.
And Elizabeth, in that time, where would these animals be if Artemis wasn't there?
They would be on the streets. They would still be in hoarding situations. They would be abandoned and locked in houses that are empty. They would be dead. And there's so many more that we don't know about that are in that situation still right now. It's hard to sleep.
Do you guys go out and locate these dogs, or how do people find you all?
Well, they can, when they come across a stray animal, you know, we get Facebook messages, we have an email that they contact us with, you know, they'll tag us on Facebook, but no, we don't have to go looking. I mean, people
find us, yeah. Somehow my personal number's out there, so I get calls 24/7 for animals in need. A lot of them, we have so many strays that it's hard to help people with their personal animals when they fall on hard times and need help. We try to help out with food in those situations. We vaccinate and provide preventatives for people that find themselves in a bind, and then try to help them as we have room and an opportunity. It's just, there's just so many. We have to turn a lot away. And I know it's the same for every rescue around here. You take in everything you can. Me personally, I have over 20 dogs at my own home because we ran out of room at the rescue. So
how does three girls, do you all, is it a cooperative effort there? I know it's in a different location, but how well do you all work together?
Well, I love three girls. We basically have the same situation. Mitzi is a good friend of mine, and she has a heart of gold for the animals. And she has the same passion we do, her and her group, Mitzi, Angela, all those girls over there. They feel the same way we do. We are in the same exact position. Mitzi will contact me if she has a transport and she doesn't have animals to fill it for a specific reason, like that Northern Rescue is looking for a certain type of animal. She'll reach out to every rescue she can and say, hey, do you have this? I can take it with me. So, and she's actually the one that contacted me and said, we need to do a big adoption event. And I was like, let's go.
And that is going to be on November 5th. And I love the title of this, or what you guys have named this, Woof Stock. Explain what will be happening that day.
Sure. Well, first of all, we're going to have a big firework looking tent where the rescues will be under, and we'll have opportunities to fill out foster applications, to fill out adoption applications, to buy t-shirts, you know, that kind of thing, learn more about the rescues that are there. And then outside the tent are going to be all of the dogs set up in their wire kennels. We're going to have some bigger runs donated for the day for meet and greet areas. And so people can bring their current dog, their pet, and, you know, see if it gets along with the new dog at the event. We do recommend people try to get pre-approved so they can, you know, get all of that out of the way and speed up the process. We're also going to have vendors there that a lot of pet themed vendors, but some that aren't, but they're going to be donating a portion of their sales to the rescue event. So that's going to be great. We'll have like, pet tags being engraved.
You talk about the pre-approval. I want to talk about that for a second, because not everybody who's going to show up that day is going to qualify, and I'm not sure if that's the right word to use, qualify to be a pet owner. And I'm sure you guys have seen that, where someone takes a pet and within 6 months, they give it back.
Yeah. Well, we do our best to try to place these dogs in homes where they're cared for long-term, not just, someone who is at the event, they're like, oh, that's a cute puppy, let's take it home. And then 2 weeks later, we're like, oh, it makes messes in the house. We try to get people pre-approved so they have time to think about it. We don't want to place any animal in a home where it's not wanted and loved. As much as we want every dog to have a home, we want the people in the home to be happy with the animal that they chose. We want it to be a good fit. We want it to be the right animal for their family that will be a long-term member. And the best way to do that is to get pre-approved, and that way we have a chance to look at your application. We have a chance to see what kind of animal we might have, or Three Girls or some of the other rescues that will be participating, and see what they have that we might be able to match you with. Because a lot of times we know these animals. All you know is what you see, but we know their personalities. We know their, good points, their bad points. So we just want to make the best match possible.
The nice thing is that most of them, a lot of them are coming from foster homes with the rescues that we're working with, us too. And so we know, like she's saying, their behaviors, their preferences, or, the things that the family would need to be aware of. And there's a space on all of our applications that has the family describe what kind of pet are they looking for, or what kind of dogs do they currently have. And so that's why we would like a little time to talk to them before the event, possibly, to maybe make sure that, that dog is going to be there to meet, because we'll talk to that foster and make sure that we can get it there and whatnot.
The 5th is coming up pretty quick. So how soon do you need to get pre-registered or pre-approved for this?
If you get your application in, I would say by noon on Friday, it'll be approved before the event. And the only problem with approving them at the event is that we do vet checks, vet references. So if you have a current dog or current cat, whatever animal you have, we like to call the vet and make sure that, that they've seen that animal before, and they can vouch for the home and the care that animal's given, and that they're up to date on their vaccines and all that good stuff.
And that they're altered.
Yeah, we like them all to be spayed and neutered.
So basically, someone could show up out there who's been pre-approved and go home with an animal.
Oh yeah, that's what we intend to happen. And just because you're not pre-approved doesn't mean your animal won't go home with you that day. It could mean that you go home contingent approval. And if we check your references on Monday and everything's good, you're good to keep that animal. If we check it Monday and we find out that there's no animals, or there's something askew about your application, then we might just knock on your door.
This sounds like this is going to be one of the biggest adoption events that we've seen around here.
The biggest.
We hope it becomes an annual thing. And we have invited basically every area rescue. Some can't come because of prior commitments, but we're hoping that next year we start early enough to where we actually have every rescue participate. So, but even, hey, if I just come with the dogs at my home, it's a full event.
Because every rescue is going through the same thing you guys are going through. There's just too many.
Yes, we're all drowning. So
and you can only transport so many. There's only so many families, with our partner rescues. So,
Yeah.
Well, and also too, it's, you know, for every animal that we have, there are 10 waiting for a space. So every dog that goes home, we'll have a spot for one that needs us.
Yeah.
So that's what we're pushing for.
so whether you adopt or sign up to be a new foster, you're really saving 2 animals. You're getting one animal out of our system to where they can be in a home, whether even if it's a foster home, and you're making room for the next dog.
Yeah. I'd also like to say that, like, if you get pre-approved, that doesn't mean we're going to force an animal on you. It just means at any time you decide, even if you come to the event and it's not the right time, if you want to come back a month later and say, we're ready now, you're already approved. You can follow our Facebooks and you can be like, ooh, I like that dog. That's the dog I've been looking for. And message us, and that dog could be in your home the next day.
We have online photo albums that you can check. You know, not all of them have a facility where you can go to, you know, like some rescues do. So some are foster based, so you might have to pick out of an album and decide which ones you'd like to meet, and we set up meet and greet appointments.
Yeah.
Okay. Cindy and Elizabeth, thank you so much. I hope that on November 5th is a hugely successful day.
Thank you very much.